Hey, what's up and welcome back everyone to another Warzone 2 video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 loadouts that you need to be using in Al-Mazrah. Now, I have been grinding this game non-stop since it released. I've actually been streaming every single hour since Warzone 2's release. And I'm also not only taking my personal experience, but a lot of my peers who have been competing for money, grinding non-stop. And we're going to be taking all of the best classes that you need to be using. Whether it's zero recoil builds, fastest time to kill builds, these will not fail you inside of Warzone 2. Now, before we get into it, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Scuff. You guys know I recently released my very own IceManIsaac Scuff controller. It's designed for the Academy, very minimal, none of my branding, but even though we may not have a movement meta like slide canceling, there still is plenty of movement and finesse like we've talked about in previous videos. Whether it's the crazy G-walk or just something simple like a dolphin B-hop or just simply drop shotting, having paddles on the back of your controller will allow you to remap those face buttons so that way you can keep your thumbs on the joysticks at all time, always be aiming, and then press a paddle on the back, and now all of a sudden you're drop shotting or b-hopping. There's a reason we're still using Scuffs and loving them, and I want to thank them again for sponsoring today's video. They will be linked over in the pinned comment and the description if you want to get a new Scuff for your holiday season grind. But without further ado, let's get into today's video talking about the top 10. The very first one is Mr. Reliable. It is a TAC 5.6. I've talked about this gun so many times for its minimal recoil, really competent time to kill, and the large damage per mag. This reminds me of the Growl meta when it comes to just a really clean iron sight and just the ability to beam across the entire map. Now, there's a lot of smoke coming off in the firing range. Just keep in mind that is a firing range-ism. That will not be a thing when you actually go out and fire it. It's just because of like this lighting that they put inside of here. But this is one of my favorite, most consistent guns to use. And the build for it is this right here. So you guys don't worry about taking a screenshot right now. I'm going to show you a screenshot here in a moment with all of the tuning and everything brought together. But we have a 60 round mag so that we can get more damage per mag. We have the high velocity ammunition all the way to damage range and bullet velocity. Keep in mind, it is bad on most scenarios to max out on any of these bars. So make sure you're not just maxing to one way or another. You're finally tuning it like I have with this. We have the FTAC Ripper 5.6, which helps out a lot with that horizontal shake. We have the KOMODO Heavy, which once again helps out with horizontal recoil control. And then we have the Tundra Pro Barrel as well. Remember, if you guys are taking screenshots of these builds, make sure you are subscribed because there's a pretty likely chance that when Warzone 1 Reloaded or Warzone 2 Season 1 Reloaded hits on December 14th, there's going to be some changes to the meta. So make sure you are subscribed here so you can stay up to date on the newest metas. All right, heading over to the second gun. It is the fastest killing long-range weapon in the game. It is the RAL. This thing, while it may not be the fastest gun, shoots absolute missiles, and there's a reason why it's one of the most feared guns to hear inside of Al-Mazrah. A lot of the players who are playing for win streaks are using this simply for the fact that with 75 rounds and a really clean sight and minimal recoil, you can chunk people and just tear down teams. A lot of people were running this gun for the early solo quad, like 2v2 tournaments. It's not as mobile, but if you're posted, nothing is better than the RAL in your hands. So here's the build. We have the SRO7 dot. We've tuned that for all the way to far to help with that visual recoil, and then max aim down sight speed. We have the Rhino barrel tuned as you see here. We have the Dreadnought tuned as you see here. The side grip, which makes a huge difference for recoil. And then armor piercing, or they recently nerfed armor piercing. You can go and throw on something like high velocity on there as well to make the gun feel even more like hit scan. Most of the time with these, weapons or the actual magazine or the ammunition tuning, it's pretty much best to just send it all the way forward. But as you can see here, I'd probably end up tuning it something like this, bring it into the firing range, and you'll see the thing is still shooting absolute lasers. And is one of the most dangerous guns in the game. All right, heading over to my third weapon of the day. It is the TAC V. We had a whole conversation about this in a previous video. The TAC V is like the SCAR H, the SCAR Heavy, which shoots a 7.62x51 or the 7.62 NATO, and the SCAR L, which would be the SCAR Light, is like the TAC 5.6, which shoots 5.56. So this gun is going to be a little bit more difficult to control, but you're going to get a lot more damage per mag, and you're going to get a lot faster time to kill using the TAC 5.6. And a lot of people have found builds that they really like for this gun, and it's one of the probably top 2 tourney weapons that I'm seeing being used right now. Z Colors used this exact build to actually win himself the $100,000 optic tournament. The build we have here is a combat grip, the 50-round drum, FTAC ripper, polar fire, and precision barrel. We've tuned all of these to try to minimize recoil as much as we can because it's a little bit shaky. But on the whole, with this build, if you're a little bit more of an experienced player, I would much prefer this over the TAC 5.6 because of that increased damage per mag and the faster time to kill. Moving over to weapon number 4, it is the MP5. I have changed this build up quite a bit from the previous video that I made. It now is a lot more viable at mid-range. So you guys know I love the MP5 because you get the fast movement speed, you get the snappy aim down sight, you get the really fast time to kill. And even though it doesn't kill as fast as like the FALCON up close, it kills plenty fast. And the best part about it is with this 50-round drum, it does a lot more damage per mag than the FALCON. But you'll see with this new build, that iron sight used to be shaking like crazy on my old build. And I was basically like, just get inside doors and, you know, get inside buildings and you'll be fine. This now is going to be able to handle the mid-range. And even if you're getting hit markers consistently with an SMG at that range, like I'm thrilled. So this is the new, probably favorite. This would be like my tournament weapon to use. The FALCON does kill faster, but it has a limited damage per mag. But we'll be talking about the FALCON build here in a moment. The MP5 build, we got rid of the no stock and we added the recoil stock and we tuned it as you see here. 50-round drum. The pineapple is like my go-to grip on all things SMGs. We have the laser, which is going to help us with faster aim down sight and faster sprint to fire. And then the FALCON barrel as well. Bring all that together and now you have a mobile max damage per mag SMG. And it's very viable for those close range TTKs as well. Remember, if you are taking screenshots, make sure you are subscribed here for even more. Heading over to the next gun, it is the FALCON. I am in love with this gun. We've made a dedicated video on it. We've got the rubber grip for the faster sprint to fire, the assault, which makes this crazy aim down sight walking speed. The laser is clutch, always rocking the pineapple. And then we have the 45 mag as well. And just look at how fast you can strafe while you're walking with this gun, which is just going to allow you to clear out buildings. And even though it's a FALCON, which everyone says is a shaker, with this build, you're shooting lasers even at people who are 25 meters away. And like I said, if an SMG can even land a few shots on someone that far away, all the way at the edge of the map, like, I'm thrilled with it. So the FALCON, fastest killing close range weapon in the game. And even though it might be a little bit limited on damage per mag, if you play your movement right, you play your positioning fine, you can still run this gun in something like quads as well. All right, heading over to the next gun, we have the AK-74U sniper support. Now, we're going to talk about a sniper here in a moment, and a lot of people have not been in love with snipers, but please, it'll be linked at the end of today's video. Check out the SPX build that I have later and the full gameplay for it. It will make you fall in love with sniping again. But this is the gun that I'm using to rock sniper support with it. So I need something that can handle the mid-range, but also is plenty snappy for getting inside of buildings. And it's just this AK-74U right here. You can see it can reach out all the way in the mid-range, all the way out to 50 meters is just fine. Because keep in mind, a lot of times with snipers, even if you hit a headshot, it's only going to do 249 damage. So sometimes you might hit a headshot with a sniper and then just do a quick swap with the AK-74U, and you can just finish them off rather than risking another sniper shot. But nice thing is, it's got good movement speed. It uses AR rounds, so it's just keep that in mind. It's not actually an SMG. It shoots 5.45, which is an AR round, but it's still plenty fast to get the gun up if you need to clear out buildings, and then also has the ability to reach out to some distance as well. So we've got the OLE laser, the pineapple grip, the 45 round mag, the Otrazat stock, and the CRONEN Mini Pro. I'll have all the tunings up for you right here. We're trying to keep this thing as mobile as we can without sacrificing the recoil, because we still want to be able to reach out to the mid-range. But this has definitely treated me well for sniper supports. I was struggling to find something, but this is my go-to. Now, one thing I also call this a little bonus one. You guys already know I made a whole dedicated video on it. If you don't know by now, the pistols in this game are just absolutely absurd. Whether it's the starter pistol or it's something like this, which is just unbelievably powerful. You guys know the akimbo pistols are the way. I mean, just come on. I don't know what they were thinking. These most likely are going to get nerfed in the season 4 or the season 1 reloaded. But we went ahead when they nerfed armor piercing. We got rid of the armor piercing rounds and we added the 12 round mags. So now we allow ourselves a lot more ability to clear out multiple people. And I'm not kidding when I say even with Warzone TTK, You can two-tap people and down them with these pistols. It's absurd. It's like we never learned our lesson about akimbo pistols in Warzone 1. So we have the akimbo pistol, these 12-round mag, the Bruin Express trigger. We have the steel fire, and then we have the 1 milliwatt laser as well. Heading on over to a one-shot shotgun. I made a video about this for my org, the guard, the people that own the Los Angeles Guerrillas, and it doesn't do it justice here, okay? It does not do it justice here in this like firing range. I mean, even that, I mean, for a shotgun, like, let's be honest, that's still pretty impressive. But in Warzone, you can one-shot headshot someone with this gun at a pretty consistent distance. There are so many opportunities, so many moments where I should have died. I was 1 HP, someone was swinging a corner to come thirst me, and I just hold the pre-aim with this, and I'll have their video also linked at the end of today's video. If you want to see a one-shot shotgun, make sure to check out the video. It's over on that Los Angeles Guerrillas Warzone channel, and it's just something toxic, man. So what we have is the Demo X50 Tactical. We have the stockless pistol grip, which you cannot tune. We have the laser, which you can't tune. We have the rifled barrel 29.5, and then the BRYSON choke, all tuned as you see here. And it just turned into one of the most toxic, but also fun to use guns inside of Warzone 2. Moving over to what we have next, it's the sniper. Boys, I cannot tell you enough, okay? Sniping was a huge part of my channel. I didn't like how easy sniping was in Warzone 1. I get it. I understand why people think snipers should one-shot headshot, but with how abundant snipers are, you can get them off the ground, you can buy them off the loadouts. It's not like the Kraber or the or other snipers in other games where, you know, the gun is rare and ammo is limited. You can find ammo for all these guns. Aim down sight is fast on all these. Bullet velocity is crazy fast. There is no bullet drop. Sniping is easy in COD. I know I probably hurt some feelings with that, but it is still viable even without one-shot headshots. Keep in mind, if someone takes a tick of gas damage, a tick of fall damage, they aren't fully plated, they don't have 3 plates, they get third party just a little bit, this gun will rip their head off. When I was playing with this gun, I was getting so many consistent one-shot headshots with this gun, and the best part about it, it's snappy, man. It's so snappy. I feel like I'm like back on the Modern Warfare Car 98 vibes. Nice thing about it, even though you do have to sometimes hit 2 shots, even if you're hitting headshots, you can go headshot and then body shot, follow up pretty dang fast. The build that we have right here is the OLE laser, the high velocity ammunition, the Schlager match grip, the DMR precision, and then the Forge Tac Delta, which helps us out with aim down sight. When you put on this different scope, it allows you to get a faster aim down sight, a smaller glint, and in my opinion, a better reticle, because I really don't like the default optic at all. I think it looks kind of weird, and it slows the gun down. So combining all this together, you have a very snappy sniper rifle that I'm telling you, boys, you gotta give it a try. Sniping is still viable. It's still fun, and I have an entire video dedicated that I'll have linked at the end. All right, heading over to, in my opinion, what is the best rifle in the game. This is what everyone is using inside of tournaments. You've got a 75 round mag, almost 0 recoil when it comes to the thing. It doesn't kill as fast as the RAL, but it shoots straighter than the RAL. Also has a 75 round mag, and it's also faster than the RAL. So look at the reload speed. Reload speed is crazy fast. 0 recoil, large damage per mag, competent time to kill. And with this build right here, there's a reason every pro is rocking it inside of tournaments. So we have the aim OP. A lot of people are using this because that is the least visual recoil out of all of the sights. So if you are really struggling with how much your gun is shaking, try the aim OP. The OLE laser, the TAC 597 barrel. We have the FTAC Ripper, and then the high velocity rounds as well. This is what is considered to be the best gun in the game right now. And then finally, number 10, we have the AK-47 or the Kastov 762. I'm not sure if they were wanting, you know, like when it came to SCAR, I'm not sure if Activision wouldn't pay for the licensing. So they couldn't pay, I think it's FN Herstall. Like they didn't pay the licensing rights to name it the SCAR L or the SCAR H, or if it was flipped and Activision is like, hey, we're going to call it something else unless you pay us. I don't know what it was, but they're not naming what they are. It's an AK-47. Okay. Cast off 7.62, shoots 7.62 by 39. This has the exact same time to kill as the RPK that I just showed you, but it has faster reload and it's a lot more mobile. So my buddy Wars actually used this exact gun to win the Optic 100,000. His buddy used the TAC V or the Scar H, and he was using this build right here. And it's faster than the RPK. It's got a little bit more recoil though, so you do have to, you know, control it a little bit more. But if you're a more experienced player, I would definitely recommend rocking this gun over the RPK, especially if you're rocking solos or duos, because it's a lot more mobile. And I have a dedicated video coming for this gun here in the near future. The build that we have right here is the Sigma Optic, tuned for max aim down sight speed. We have the CAS barrel, we have the Polar Fire, we have the FTAC Ripper, and we have the 40 round mag as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our top 10 loadouts for Warzone 2. Make sure you are subscribed here for even more, because there are going to be changes come the season 1.5 reloaded. So make sure you are staying here, subscribed here. And most importantly, make sure you are joining me live over on Twitch. I've been streaming nonstop since the game has dropped, and the Academy has been joining me with the support. We have been getting all of this content live, testing all of these guns live on stream, and they're even here while I'm recording this intro. So I really appreciate them. If you guys want to get to know me a little bit more, maybe ask me a personal question, or maybe ask a question about settings or a gun, make sure to jump on and join me over on Twitch. Huge shout out again to Scuff for giving me a custom design for the Academy. If you guys enjoy this, make sure to check it out in the pinned comment and the description. Without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.